You have their moments where you're in over your head. This is going to cost so much money. Where is this money coming from? If you know, you know. Anyway, girl.
Oh, here's another one. Oh, here's another one. Oh.
The reason for this video was this was what I would have liked to have seen. This is the video that I was looking for when I was pregnant with my first. This would have reassured any concerns that I had, thinking that, you have their moments where you're in over your head. This is going to cost so much money. Where is this money coming from? And I feel as though I've already always been the type of woman where if I have to spend my coin on it, it has to make sense. Three things I tend to keep in the back of my mind was that 2 out of 3 things have to be met. So the 3 things would be quality, convenience, and the cost. Now, the cost can fluctuate between either being expensive or cheap. If it's good quality and it's convenient, you might have to pay a good penny for it, right? For example, when you order online, such as next day delivery from a lot of these fast fashion websites, Unity websites, yeah, they're cheap in price, they're cheap in materials sometimes, but it's convenient. You're paying, you know that it's going to be cheap quality. So you're not looking for the quality. The cost and the convenience is there. The cheap cost. Sometimes when you want to go, say you need to go into town, you go on the high street, you go into the city center. A lot of things that you probably end up shopping when you're in person is good quality, and it might be a little pricey, so that's cost. But the convenience thing there, you have to either jump on the bus, you have to jump in a taxi, you have to drive, you have to park, you have to walk to these. That's not convenient. So a lot of things when it comes down to me wanting to purchase things, especially big items, it has to make sense to me. Don't really feel comfortable buying something for like a year to throw it away to then buy something else in another year to throw it away to them. But so let's jump right into the video. First up, you find out you're pregnant. So you wanna, do we have space? Is there an extra bedroom? The furniture. When we found out we was pregnant, we was living in a 3-bedroom. We converted the smaller bedroom into, I wouldn't say the nursery, but in the grand scheme of things, I guess that's where all her belongings was going to go. I did not want to buy a small baby size furniture like with the changing table. It wasn't my desire to have like a changing table, because realistically, when I need to change my baby's pamper, I'm not walking to a changing table. I'm gonna change you right here. I'm gonna change you right here. I'm gonna change wherever we are. I'm gonna change you real quick. So I was in love with this dresser set from IKEA, the MALM furniture set. It's so sturdy, it's so durable. I love it. It's absolutely sleek. My parents gifted that to us, so she has this enormous 6 drawer, 8 drawer dresser. The drawers are so deep, durable. She will have that for at least 5-10 years minimum. You take care of it, I'm sure it can last a little bit longer. IKEA, don't make me look like a fool in another couple years of this video, please. So that was the first thing, was the furniture. So I'm glad that we purchased such a large dresser for her so that she could have all her clothes in it, all her items. It really made a difference, especially when it came down to like organizing. We didn't know what we was having. We was surprised at birth, so a lot of things was gender neutral. I was able to store, because the drawers were so deep, I was able to have storage for all of her blankets, towels, and washcloths, and muslin squares, and everything. 0 to 3 months, that was in its own drawer, from outfits to pajamas to socks to all 0 to 3 months. Next drawer, 3 to 6 months. Again, everything you could think of. Next drawer, 6 to 9 months. Everything. Next drawer, 9 to 12. You understand? And then I even had like a drawer left over, I think, where we were storing her bottles and her pampers and her wipes, and it was all tucked away in this dresser. But that was one of the best purchases, and I am so glad that we did that. Next up is when people think of, where's your baby gonna sleep? So for me, if I was to get a crib, I think it would have to be a crib turned into a toddler bed, because it only made sense for me. But I quickly learned is that this newborn baby needed to be next to me for feedings, and it was imperative that she was just gonna be on me, next to me, around me. So I decided on a next to me bedside crib. It was about 2 feet. Truth be told, my girl slept in that when she wasn't on me, because she didn't really sleep in it as a newborn. We tried, but she slept in that right up until, I want to say, she was 1, because she was able to fit. I know if she would have been a big baby, then yeah, I understand. I would have had to get rid of it long time ago. And that was gifted to me by my auntie. love her down. Thank you so much. And another thing, while I'm mentioning that these were items that were gifted to me, I live in the UK. I'm not from the UK. A lot of my family, all of my family except for my brother, live back home. So it's just me and my brother in the UK. I was not planning on having a baby shower. I have friends in the UK, but they're spread out like Leeds, London, Nottingham. I couldn't fathom just trying to arrange. It was too much stress, and I was trying to have a stress-free pregnancy. Lo and behold, my man and my parents, very, very, very sneaky. They surprised me with a baby shower, and I have friends fly up. I have friends travel. It was beautiful. Thinking back, I was really stressed out trying to get everything myself because I'm like, I'm not having a baby shower. Anyway, girl, I definitely went into this thinking like it's my baby. I got pregnant. I don't expect other people to just, oh, you have a baby. Here, let me buy you stuff. That's not what I was expecting. That's so far in the back of my mind that I'm gonna be getting gifted things. So then still on her sleeping arrangement, she was a breastfed baby, so she tends to sleep on me with me majority of the time. I understand the scares and the tactics they use with co-sleeping, but I believe that what I did, what was best for me, breastfeeding was probably the hardest thing that we ever did. It made it that much easier to just have her with me and on me. We started to do sleep training. I want to say since about before she went two, she started sleeping in her own, like on her own in her own bed. So when I say in her own bed, she has her own room. We have a two-bedroom here. Her dresser is in there, and we have another bed, double-sized bed, and she sleeps in the bed. We have pillows around it. My husband and I usually sometimes go sleep with her, but she is doing exceptionally well in that bed. I'm sure you could get one of those railings that go underneath the mattress of your bed, and it just comes up on the side and then prevents the child from falling over. Her bed in the room is up against the wall, so we actually have pillows or like a blanket shoved on in between the little gaps so that she doesn't fall on between it. That's her sleeping setup. Perfect. Another big item that you think about when you're having a kid is transportation. How are they getting around? When you actually leave the hospital, I think they don't let you go unless you have like a pumpkin seat, a carrier, or stroller, or I don't think you can wear your baby. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think that that's something that they allow you to do. We needed to have a stroller or pumpkin seat or something of the sort. Was very fortunate to be gifted by one of my good friends, a doona. She had this for her daughter. When she pulled this out, it was all that and a bag of chips. The fact that it was a pumpkin seat and you could put it in a car, just strap it in, really quick to get it in and out, pop the wheels, and it's a stroller, just like that. The best invention, I think, by far, hands down. And we was also able to travel with it. I wanted to make sure that the stroller I had, I was able to put it in the overhead. The doona can go in the overhead. Disclaimer, I traveled British Airways. I don't know about these smaller airlines. I don't know, for some reason cabin sizes are not a standard size, but the doona can fit in the overhead. It was perfect when we took her on her first trip and she went 1 year old. I do believe it has a weight limit, so I was worried about that because she was a chunky baby at one point. She looked like she was gonna be pretty solid. But she slimmed out once she started crawling around. So we kept the doona until she was about 1.5, 1. Yeah, that's summer. So maybe 15 months ish. That was an important thing for me, is something that was quick and easy to get in and out of a car. I don't drive, nor do I have a license yet. If I was going to be jumping in a taxi, or if I was going to be getting in a friend's car or my husband's car, then dealing with the configurations that they got in the seat base and all of this, I did not have the patience for it. I needed what little patience I have was all going to be used on my baby. And as a first time mom, I feel like that was key. That ease, that convenience was like unmatched. It was top tier. Lifting it is a bit, I don't know if it's me. I'm not got much strength. I don't know if it was heavy or if it's just me, but lifting it was a little difficult, like getting it in it. But once you lift it, it's up, it's in. It's not like I would carry her as a pumpkin seat. I knew that was never going to be the option. Now, when she became too big for it, I also wanted my neck stroller to be easy to travel with. I wanted it to also fit in the overhead. So after the doona, I looked into the maxi cozy Laura 2. We took that on our second trip for her second birthday. She seems to be taking trips for her birthday every year. We went on a cruise and was able to go in the overhead. We flew British Airways again. It fit in the overhead. It was lightweight. It was perfect. It was absolutely perfect. I love that stroller. Now, the thing with travel strollers, when you need it for like a day to day, it's easier to push a stroller with bigger wheels, a pram with bigger wheels. So we was gifted a Joy. It's really massive wheels. Like it's almost like a running stroller, I think. That's for when she was a toddler. And I'm pretty sure we'll keep that until she's living in the UK is not like living back home where you don't really need a stroller after they're able to walk. You travel on trains and buses and going long distances. She needs somewhere to sit. She needs somewhere to lay down and take her nap. I need somewhere to put all her stuff. So I think we'll probably have that stroller till she's at least about 3.5, maybe 4, depending on where we're going and what we're doing. But the Juno was a good startup stroller, and the Maxi Cozy is the best follow up. Anything like the Maxi Cozy was the best thing I could have chosen. Another thing that I was cautious about was where baby was going to eat, when they got older. You have these, I'm not sure what they're called, but there was the little seats that you could put on the countertop or you could put on the dining room table. And it's just like it's just a seat, and it had like a little table, like a little small high chair, but it's not a high chair, so it's just the chair. It didn't give me longevity. It only seemed like I would be able to use that up until she was maybe 1. But she still needed somewhere to eat after that. She's too small to sit at the dining room table. And then to buy a high chair, the high chairs that I saw, a lot of the high chairs that I saw, it seemed to have lots of zippers and fabric and folds and all I could imagine was baby layered weaning and spaghetti, cleaning all that up. Or if she had a blowout, because those are things too. And if it was a breastfed baby, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Cleaning all of that up while cleaning you up, I couldn't. So we went with the IKEA high chair. The IKEA high chair ranged for about 12, 13 pounds. It was durable, it was cheap, and it's pretty good quality. And it's so easy to clean up, which is convenient. Anytime to this day, she still sits in it. When I'm in the kitchen cooking, she has her snack or she reads her book or she plays in her high chair. Any mess she makes is easily cleaned up. I do have a cushion in it, but that's wipeable. We have a footrest, and I have this catch-all, which is helpful for throwing spills because they drop the food or you know. If you've liked some of the items I've listed so far and I've opened your eyes to another way of thinking when preparing newborn essentials, let me know in the comment box below. I would love to hear from you. Please don't forget to click like, subscribe to the channel. Keep me going. Keep the encouragement. Let me know if you would like further explanation on any of my thought processes or any of my experiences with any of these items that I've listed. I have no problem making another video, answering to your comments, making a short. Let me know. That's what I'm here for. I wish somebody would have made this video for me. Moving on, we have things essential for postpartum. I saw a lot of postpartum rolling carts and trolleys and essentials like that. I don't have floor space for another item to be carrying and hoarding things in it. I had one friend who had on her registry a caddy organizer for like the babies, pampers and wipes and this. It was the best thing and it made so much sense. So that was one of the first things that I ended up buying for myself, especially because we was having a C-section. If you watch my previous video, Day in the Life vlog, I mentioned my discovery of fibroids when we found out we was pregnant at the ultrasound appointment. Because of where the fibroids was, we had to have a C-section. So I knew that moving around in the first couple of weeks, first couple of months even, was going to be difficult. And I am a woman of convenience, definitely. So I purchased these caddies. I'm not sure if you can see it. It might just be outside the camera, but we have one right here on the bedside table that we still use to this day. She's 2. We had one upstairs and we had one downstairs. Now, in the one downstairs, we tend to keep pampers, wipes, change of clothes, socks, depending on the time of year. If it was summertime, we had the swim nappies because we would go out in the garden and go swimming. We would have sunblock. We'd have extra set of clothes for summer, pajamas sometimes. Just little bits, toys, books, little knickknacks. When I was breastfeeding, I would have breast pads, nipple cream, the works, right? And every so often, my husband would restock it, or I would restock it. He would bring it up, and I will restock it when I'm upstairs. But it worked like a charm because of my recovery. I was not going to be upstairs and downstairs and upstairs and no. When I'm downstairs, I'm downstairs. And when I'm upstairs, I'm upstairs. That was life saving for for me. When she got older, we switched out some of the items like for when we were doing potty training. I still have Pampers and wipes in there, but I started to have extra underwear, extra set of clothes, some potty training books and things like that. Now we have taken it up from downstairs because she's a big girl now. She is fully potty trained. Bless her heart. She does not wear Pampers anymore. I actually think it might be 3, 4 Pampers left in this one. Just regressions do happen, so don't throw away all the Pampers. In this one here, we have Pampers wipes, her hair care, her bath care, her lotions, her hair booze, items for when she's sick and she has like cold or flu, like paracetamol, cough syrup, Orbis oil when she can't breathe. The nurse Frida, remember? I don't know if you've got the nurse Frida. That is an essential, baby essential. You know, all the moms are talking about the nurse Frida because who is sucking up the snot? That's all on the bedside table. The caddy top organizer. It was perfect, and we still use it to this day. And I will always find a purpose for it. I promise you, I will always find a purpose for it. If you've looked at newborn essentials, I'm sure you've came across videos mentioning a baby boppy. I believe that's what they are. Just a pillow with like it looks like a pool noodle could be around and it holds the baby in the middle. It seemed like a lot of unnecessary things for me. Keep in mind our mindset at the time. We was already relocating from Leeds down to the south. Okay, so we was already downsizing. Find out we're pregnant. We want to move while she's small to be closer to my husband's family. We definitely do not need to be buying anything unnecessary at this point. I've already got a pregnancy pillow from when I was pregnant. I needed it. As I said, I have fibroids and back pain. I've never been pregnant before. I might have been a little over dramatic with some of the aches and pains, but that's okay. The pregnancy pillow worked the one during pregnancy and postpartum. My recovery, it was a charm for breastfeeding. It was the absolute best because they have breastfeeding pillows that you can buy. I just used my pregnancy pillow and I propped her on either side when I needed to for breastfeeding. It was a major help when it came to just wanting her to sit up when she was sitting up. Her sitting inside the pregnancy pillow worked like a charm. It had multiple uses, and I like that. I still have it. I think we stopped sleeping with that. She had to have been about 6 months. 6 months she was sitting up. So yeah, about that. After she was sitting up and she was strong, it was like, okay, it's no need. And I did say this is a double, so you can imagine how crowded the bed was. Pregnancy pillow, that was a hit. One of the other unexpected items that I ended up buying was an exercise ball. When you don't use it, it deflates quite small. But a lot of women that were going to be trying to give birth naturally and vaginally, I suggested like rolling on the ball and loosening up their hips and getting rid. And before I knew I was having a C-section, I was team home birth. I was team no medication. That was the route I was trying to go. It didn't work out that way, but I had the ball anyway. Having the fibroids and where the fibroids were located was sometimes will cause a little discomfort. So I was on the ball a lot, just rolling and bouncing, and it was very comfortable. I want to say I sat on that ball more than I sat on the couch. Like I would go and sit on my ball. This is a mom tip, not even a mom tip from me, a mom tip from my mom. When Russell was born, we had the first couple nights, right? You know, the first initial nights, they just send you home with this baby. You don't know this baby don't know you. I remember she was crying and crying and crying, and she would not stop crying. I could not for the life of me figure it out. And my mom had the bright idea of just like, get on the bowl, hold in your arms and sit on the bowl. And just practically your whole pregnancy, you were sitting on this bowl, rocking her to sleep. She's used to being in your belly. And it was at that point where I knew my mama was God's gift to the world. That just goes to show things will click because that sounds so obvious now, right? But in the moment, you are sleep deprived. You don't know what you're doing. You ain't got no manual, no rule book, no guidelines. They just sent you home with a kid. Give yourself grace for the first month, right? My mom told me, if you have to remember, she came from inside your belly. She still wants to be inside your belly. I used to listen to Bob Marley when she was in my belly every single day, practically. To this day, today, she is 2 years old. She cannot, she cannot resist me rocking her to sleep with Bob Marley. Instantly knocked out. That's wild. If you don't take anything else from this video, please take that everyone was a first time mom and no one is expecting you to know it all or to have it all together. It's literal on the job training. And once you become a mom, you start to have empathy towards first time moms even more. So I know you probably have a lot of people in your corner right now telling you what you should do or sleep when the baby sleeps. And I know they mean well. They do mean well. It's probably because they wish they would have went back and slept when the baby slept. Because I know I do. The hardest part is whatever season you're in right now, right? And when you get through that season, you're gonna look back and be like, that was a breeze. Look at me. Because newborn mode and toddler mode is two different modes. Toddler mode is a champ. Newborn mode, what was you crying for? Give yourself grace and know that you'll get through it. Okay? So if you like this video, don't forget to subscribe. Give me a like. If you have any questions, put it in the comment box below. Most items I mentioned will be in my Amazon storefront, also linked in the description box. I really wish somebody had this video out when I was pregnant. But if you can't find it, you need to create it. So hope you enjoyed this video, love. I'll see you in the next one. So in order to return, you must leave. Bye, Bookie.
Here's another one. Here's another one.